first thing I want to ask, what was the audit finding? Because you didn't tell us, I don't think. I would like to know that. And the other thing about, having all of the credentials, well, could you please have forward that to me, because I'm the president of the Irvington Block Association Coalition, and then we could have it checked out, ourselves, because I think a lot of people would really like to know. And another thing that I wanted to say was, when you talk about people, nepotism, and say that the state came in or something and you fought against it. Well, I think that is very important to look into, with all the nepotism and even cronyism going on in a town. When you have a town or any place paying taxpayers or burden down property owners, part of our tax money go to the Board of Education. And we have a right to question everything that you do. We live here, we support it, we want our children to get the best. And that was one of the questions I was going to ask about the person that was hired. So now I would like to have the license, see, what his credentials are, and if they fit the position that he's holding. And the other thing that I would like to know is that, all this talking, but there's another problem. When school first opened, did you hire someone as a principal at one of the schools that had a problem? And this is not the first time I was told that that happened. It was in the Star Ledger some time ago where there was someone hired in the Irvington school system when there was a big problem with it. And then again, here I heard, and then again with the child that happened, someone else, you see. So I want to know about that too.
Okay, let me.
And no, let me finish, please.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. And I would like to know about the high school with the track team or the field there. Are you still in the process of getting that field repaired? And if you are, who is funding it? Could you have that sent to the organization, to the name of the bank that's funding that, so that we can, know what's going on? Because, this is our tax dollars. We want to know. And I think that's it. And if I think of something else, then I'll let you know before I leave.
Well, let me start to respond to your questions. One, on the last statement that's your tax dollars. Actually, it's not. It's not your tax dollars that's doing the track and field. But you're welcome to do any information that we can give you. That's number one. If you would like a copy of his credentials, of course, it's public information. We don't have an issue because we don't have anything to hide. This is what we do. Here we're gonna abide by the law and do as we're supposed to do. See, I think this is a part of the climate that we have to change. We're so suspicious of one another. Everybody doesn't have. Can I speak, everyone? Everybody doesn't have bad intentions when they start out. See, when I meet somebody, I start everybody off with an A and let them work from there. But we have a habit of starting people up with an F and act as though they have to prove something to us. And that's the reason that we're in the type of predicament that we're in. We can work together and disagree on anything that we need to disagree on. But a lot of times we go too far, in my opinion, and it's just an opinion. It's not a fact, because I'll make sure, and Mr. Lampy, you make sure that we get a copy of that information so that she can have it. And he did state how many audit findings we had. One.
What was it?
What was it? That's what I asked.
Mr. Lampy?
It had to do with the high school student activity account.
Which means that they didn't have the proper receipts that they should have.
No receipts.
Because if that would happen, we would have had zero.
One more thing I wanted to ask you, do they have a library in their high school yet?
Yes. Yes.
How long, because I remember one time they didn't have one.
No, because that's what I mean by people saying stuff that I don't know what they're talking about. We had a library. Dr. Hackett was the principal of the school. Dr. Hackett, would you please let her know how long we had a library in the high school?
I was a principal 2 years ago, and had a library, I've been 6 years, all 6 years.
Because I do remember some years back, they didn't have one, because we spoke on it in board meeting. I didn't know, I just
Yeah.
have it.
There was a time it was under repair, but it's been operational for several years.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I think your final question that you would, well, it wasn't your final question. You were talking about hiring a principal that had problems. I don't know what problems. I don't know. I'm not aware of any problems or anything. What school are we talking
You want me
about?
to bring it out?
Please.
I didn't want to,
Please.
come
Please,
out.
we don't have anything to hide.
That they found out that he was on the Megan's list. Yes, you know what that is?
Making law. All right, okay. Everyone? All right, I can tell you that that's not true. I really would like to know who's supplying their information because it's just way off base. There's no principal that was hired that was on the Megan's list. We did have a principal that we hired, I think it was last year, maybe for this upcoming school year, and his license was suspended. But at the time, his license was in good standing when we hired him. Our issue was that you didn't disclose to us why they took his license, but they gave it back to him when he went to court. So it was still legit. We just don't want to inherit anyone else's problems. We have enough problems of our own. So if he would have told us about it, he would have gave us the option to say, you know what, it doesn't matter. We think you're a good teacher. He came with high recommendations, and we're going to use you. He didn't do that. So that's why he's no longer here. So I appreciate the questions you asked. I don't see any controversy in anything you asked. Seems to be pretty simple and cut and dry to me.
Okay.
So if you like any information, I'll make sure that you get it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Local contractors never get jobs in everything, you know, because I'm a businessman and everything. Over a period of time, over the last 5 years, we have given up over 100 jobs. And we also in real estate, we have hired over 65 families, you know, and then we can't work in the city of everything in the Board of Education. I don't see it as that, you know. I would like to know why.
Okay, thank you for your question, Mr. White. And let me ask this. Have you bid on any contracts for any work?
Well, we never get the information. I talked to Mr. Mordell many times, and he, you know, he never give a correct answer. He gives me something that you can't deal with.
Well, I understand that you're a contractor, and this is the process for everyone. We advertise, you apply, we take the lowest responsible bidder in most cases. So if you haven't applied, I can't tell you why you haven't gotten any work, but let's try. Stuff comes up, you know, we'll put it in the paper, you can apply. I mean, Mr. Lampy is here, he's the assistant superintendent for business. They'll tell you the exact procedure that you can follow. Because listen, like I said, home rules here. We would love for you, you're a contractor here. You spend money, your family's here, we would love for you to win a bid. But there's guidelines that we have to follow, and all you have to do is apply.
But we see that, you know, most of out-of-town contractors.
Well, a lot of the contractors are on the state contracting list.
Yeah, we are too.
Okay, so you have to apply. I can't answer a question if you don't apply, because I can't get a job if I don't apply for it.
But it sounds to me very much like the way it's communicated. I know in previous times in other school districts, they published the list and circulated it so that you knew where to look for it.
Mr.
That
Lampy?
sounds like something could be done.
Mr. Lampy, would you please respond at the procedure?
Yeah, I will when she's done.
Go ahead.
Okay. Whenever we have a bid, we advertise in the newspapers. Our newspapers of choice are the Herald and the Starledge.
Yeah, so if they don't see it, just like I wouldn't see it there, what they did in other districts is have a handout or they post it somewhere. So if you're interested, say you got the board office, so you can post it in a certain place in
We do
the
that
board
too.
office, yeah. Because I know what Mr. White is referring to, he mentioned to me before, and I didn't see anything change about that, but I know it's the way that it's communicated, you know.
Let me add something else. We've had this complaint before,
Yeah.
and since I've been here, we've had seminars for local contractors. We've done it twice, where we have it, we explain, those who are present, we explain to them the criteria for getting state jobs, what they need to do, and how to get in on it.
See, like this, if I'm the president of this organization, she has an organization, who has an organization, and Mr. White is president of the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, we can improve the communications.
The Chamber
Yeah,
of Commerce was present.
yeah, so we can improve that, yeah,
So, you know, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Chamber of Commerce.
So, you know, we touch on everybody, like, I try to touch on everyone, come back to our meeting and so forth, you know. That's all. I think we need that in the town, so everyone knows what's going on, and then nobody feels left out. Not personal to you, but I'm just saying, I know in previous years, that was the way it was handled by the school board. I think the next question, though, and to move, because we only have about 10 minutes, Ms. Sproul.
You got here that your the development of the students, and in here is also that you have an infrastructure problem. I want to know how the board is respond to the township, the mayor, and on the levels of pollution in the town. The business district is uphill directly from the school, the high school, and when I go through there's garbage all the time. Also, the high levels of pollutants, including lead, that run through the Elizabeth River. We might have a shiny field and a beautiful track for the kids to run around, but the air they breathe is contaminated. So, I want to know from you, and the infrastructure, that problem that you do have is caused, is in primary because it's in contact to the Elizabeth River with regard to the high school that is. So, from you, if you're serious about the development of the students, you should make sure that the air they breathe is safe. Thank you.